Remember when Google first launched in 1998? Two Stanford students created a way to organize the world's information better than anyone else. 25 years later, Google has become such an essential part of our lives that searching online and Googling mean the same thing. With 3.5 billion searches every day and $224 billion in search advertising last year alone, Google has eliminated every competitor that tried to challenge its position, from Yahoo to Bing, from Ask Jeeves to DuckDuckGo. But today, something unprecedented happened that changed everything. OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, released a search engine that works completely differently from anything we've seen before. This isn't another attempt to copy Google's approach. This is a complete transformation in how we find and understand information online. When you use this new search engine, you're not just getting a list of websites, you're getting actual answers, explanations, and insights drawn from analyzing vast amounts of information. For the first time in decades, we're seeing something that could actually challenge Google's iron grip on search. A $3 trillion tech giant is facing off against a 5-year-old AI company, and for once, the outcome isn't certain. Let's look at what makes this new search engine so different. Forget everything you know about traditional search. When you type a question into Google, you get that familiar list of blue links. But OpenAI's approach transforms this entirely. It doesn't just point you to websites, it understands your question and gives you a direct, complete answer. Think about the last time you planned a vacation. You probably had dozens of browser tabs open, checking flights, reading hotel reviews, researching attractions, trying to figure out the best time to visit. With OpenAI's search, you just tell it what you want. I'm planning a week in Japan during cherry blossom season. It tells you when the flowers peak in different regions, shows you the best viewing spots, explains common travel mistakes to avoid, and helps you build an itinerary that actually makes sense. But what really changes everything is how it handles real-time information. The original ChatGPT could only tell you about things it learned during training. But this new search engine? It's constantly connected to the internet, pulling in fresh information as it happens. Want to know about last night's game? Today's stock prices? Tomorrow's weather? It's all there, current and accurate, explained in a way that makes perfect sense. And what's really changing the game here is how OpenAI has partnered with major news organizations. The Associated Press, Financial Times, Reuters, these aren't small-time partnerships. These news organizations are working directly with OpenAI to feed their content into the search results. This means you're getting information straight from the most trusted sources in journalism, all seamlessly connected in your search results. But here's where it gets really interesting. Google has always just taken whatever it could find on the internet. OpenAI is doing something completely different. They're giving news organizations actual control over their content. These publishers can decide if they want their articles in the search results. They can even choose whether OpenAI uses their content to train its AI. This isn't just a technical difference, it's a complete shift in how search engines and publishers work together. Now you might think Google isn't worried. After all, they've crushed every competitor for the past 2 decades. But this is different. OpenAI isn't just building another search engine, they're completely changing how we interact with information online. And they're not doing it alone. They've been quietly hiring some of Google's best talent, the exact people who helped build Google's search empire. These engineers know every strength and weakness of Google's system, and now they're building something entirely new. What does this mean for everyone using search engines? Let's say you're trying to understand something complicated like quantum computing. With Google, you'd click through website after website trying to piece everything together yourself. But with OpenAI's search, you can have an actual conversation about quantum computing. Start with the basics, then go deeper as you understand more. The search engine adjusts to your level of understanding, filling in gaps in your knowledge as you go. And here's what makes this truly powerful. It remembers your entire conversation. If you're learning about quantum computing and ask, how does that affect encryption? It knows exactly what you're talking about. You don't need to start over or explain what that refers to. It maintains the whole context of your conversation, just like talking to a real person. The impact on Google could be massive. They're making billions from their current search model. Those ads you see at the top of your search results? That's their golden goose. But OpenAI's approach might make that model obsolete. When you're having a conversation with AI, where do the ads go? How do they fit in? Google can't just copy OpenAI's approach without risking their main source of revenue. They're stuck between protecting their current business and adapting to this new reality. Every answer from OpenAI's search comes with proof of where it got its information. Not in some complicated way, but right there as part of the conversation. You can see exactly which sources it used, and with one click, you're reading the original article. This isn't just about giving answers, it's about building trust. In a world where misinformation spreads like wildfire, knowing where your information comes from matters more than ever. The way it handles complex questions shows just how far AI has come. Ask about climate change, and you won't just get basic facts. You'll see how different scientists view the problem, what solutions are being tested, and how various countries are responding. Pulls together information from scientific journals, news reports, and government data, giving you a complete picture instead of just one perspective. But this isn't just about replacing Google. This is about changing how we learn and understand things. Remember when you had to memorize facts in school? Now imagine having access to all human knowledge, organized and explained in ways that make sense to you. That's what we're looking at here. Whether you're a student working on a research paper or a professional trying to understand market trends, this changes everything. The real power shows up when you ask follow-up questions. Let's say you're reading about electric vehicles. You learn about battery technology, and that makes you wonder about recycling these batteries. With Google, you'd have to start a new search. But OpenAI's search flows naturally. It understands you're still talking about electric vehicle batteries and builds on what you already know. It's like having a conversation with someone who never gets tired of explaining things. And while all this is happening, Google isn't standing still. They're pouring billions into their own AI projects. Their Gemini AI is supposed to be their answer to ChatGPT. But Google faces a problem OpenAI doesn't have. They have to protect their advertising empire while also innovating. It's like trying to change the engine of a plane while it's flying. OpenAI, starting fresh, can build whatever works best without worrying about breaking an existing business model. The competition between these tech giants is pushing AI forward faster than anyone expected. Every time OpenAI adds a feature, Google has to respond. Every time Google improves something, OpenAI has to step up their game. We're watching a technological arms race that's making search engines smarter by the day. So will OpenAI actually kill Google? Probably not, at least not anytime soon. Google's been part of our lives for too long, and old habits die hard. But for the first time, we're seeing something that could fundamentally change how we find and understand information online. Whether OpenAI succeeds in taking Google's crown or not, one thing is certain: the way we search for information will never be the same. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments what you think about this new AI search engine.